Greetings and welcome back to another show of Cooking and Conversation with Home Chef Ramesh. And guess what? Today is Season 2, Episode 1. And this is a special show because we have Divine 9 representation. And I'm representing Kappa Alpha Psi. Ladies, what are you representing today?
I am representing Delta Sigma Theta, and my name is Tony Jessup.
I am representing Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and I am Janine.
And I am representing Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, and my name is Janice Promise.
And I am representing Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, and my name is Tracy Houston.
Don't you all have a 100-year anniversary this year?
We do. It's the road to Centennial.
Okay, with that being said, so today's theme is Caribbean. We have an all Caribbean menu today. So to start things off, I usually give all of my guests appetizers. So I have an appetizer, some jerk wings. All of my guests have jerk wings right now. So they're going to be munching on the jerk wings during the show while I'm cooking all the nice scrumptious victuals. So we're going to have some callaloo, and I have some crab. I'm going to put in the callaloo. We're going to have some curry chicken. We're going to have some rasta pasta. I have oxtails. And I have some jerk pork. And I have some curry chicken. So, if you all are ready to go, we'll go ahead and get started.
Ready?
Sounds good?
Yes.
All right. So, what's our show topic for today? Family. Since we have a Caribbean menu, a lot of the menu stems from family in the Caribbean. So, with that being said, Tony, you want to start us off with some family things in the Caribbean?
So I am half Trinidadian and half Bahamian, and food is very important. So I'm going to be scrutinizing this menu a little bit today because I'm familiar with it. So I'm excited about it. But he's making one of my favorite things, which is callaloo.
And I've never had that before, so I'm excited.
Okay.
It's so good.
So callaloo is an acquired taste a little bit because when you see what I put into it, then you're like, but it has crab in it too. Crab is kind of like a garnish with it, but it also cooks in with the callaloo as well.
Okay.
And Tony said she wasn't coming inside that callaloo.
Exactly. It's one of my favorite things. But I like vegetables, and I'm not going to tell you what's in it.
Okay.
You'll tell
Right.
me.
Right.
But I love it.
You will actually see when I do the callaloo. Actually, I'm going to do the callaloo now and get that out of the way. So it takes about 20, 30 minutes to get done, sometimes an hour, depending on how you do it. I'm going to show you a shortcut. So I'm going to cut time off the way you do it.
Right.
The jerk wings are
I'm
really
not
good,
from
too.
the islands, but I do enjoy the Caribbean type foods over like soul food and
I'm from here too. I'm from the South, and I just
Yeah.
love good food. But
Yeah.
I heard oxtails was on the menu. I'm like, I'm there. So
Interesting enough, the oxtails are cooked differently from Southern way versus like Caribbean. They taste completely different in my opinion, how they cook them and
I
stuff.
agree.
I do like the Southern version.
So there's subtleties even within the islands. Like Jamaicans, when they do their oxtails, they put in beans. Trinidadians don't necessarily put beans in the oxtails. So it's some subtle differences, but they're all good.
Yeah.
I actually spent Christmas in the Bahamas, and we were able to taste some Bahamian food. And so now my daughter is totally convinced that she has to eat Bahamian food now because we had some very delicious fish and rice and peas. And even their macaroni and cheese was
It's
different.
different. It's good.
It's so different. It had a little bit of spice to it or peppers or something in it. And it was really good. My daughter was like, we have to find Bahamian food because she really loved it.
now you make me want to go.
Yeah, I got a college
So fun.
roommate that was from the Bahamas, and she used to make this macaroni and cheese, and it's like the consistency is just different. It's not like I don't even know
It
how
was
to
thick.
describe it. It's thick,
Like they
you
cut
can just
it.
pick it up and you can just eat it, and it does have like a spice to it.
So my favorite thing, I was telling you, I love grouper. A grouper in the Bahamas tastes completely different than grouper up here. And it's one of
That's
the
what it
things that-
was.
Grouper. Uh-huh.
That's the fish that, remember I was trying to figure out. It was grouper. It was grouper fingers.
So we have
That's
that a lot of
nice.
times for breakfast. So it's like a stew, and you have bread instead of having like bacon or eggs. and you dip your bread in the stew, which is just delicious.
Sounds
So one of the
delicious.
things I miss about one of my aunts very much.
I'm so glad you said grouper because it was racking my brain trying to figure out what is the fish that we ate. That is the fish that we had in the Bahamas, and it was amazing.
I asked my brother to bring up some grouper once, and I thought he was gonna just, you know, get the grouper, cut it up, season it, and put it in freezer bags. He comes through the plane
Oh, so
with
that's
a
what's
trash
gonna make
bag
me like,
with this
that
huge
okra.
fish.
It's the okra.
It's slimy.
Yes,
but
it
the
is.
smell, it smells good.
But you know, you don't really sense
all
the
the seasonings.
slime because
All
of
fresh.
the callaloo bush.
These are all the fresh
I'm gonna
seasonings.
try it.
Okay.
'Cause I don't even like okra in my
I don't either. But
Oh, you don't?
I don't
I
like
love
it.
my
I don't
okra.
mind it in gumbo. I'm
Yeah, I
gonna
do
eat
like
it.
it.
unless
Yeah.
it's in
I don't eat it. But anything, that's just like with crab. I don't eat crab, but if it's in certain things and it's toned, the taste is toned down, I can eat it.
Like I eat crab meat, but I won't eat crabs.
Okay.
I don't want to fight with my food. I feel like I'm fighting with that.
I know, right?
You know,
I tried
so
for the
like,
first time. I was like, this is too much work.
but I love crab
don't have time
meat.
for all that. I just want to eat my food.
yeah, I love crab meat, but I don't want to crack it open and pull it out. That's way too much going. That's a lot. That's too much work for me.
So that's
Like
very regional.
the wings are so good.
I love
They're
deep fries.
delicious.
Has just the right amount of spice because I'm not with all that extra spicy stuff. So it's delicious.
Okay. So the last thing to the puzzle is a particular leaf. These leaves do not grow in the United States. This is in the Caribbean.
I
Okay.
thought that was spinach.
Right? It looks like spinach.
That's what
It kind of does, but it's not. This has a particular name to it. So it's dasheen leaves or callaloo leaves. Okay, so it goes by both. I found this in the Caribbean market. Okay. So with this particular dish, for this, it's like a soup, and it's very simple. But the old school way, you know, you just throw all this in a pot and you like do this in a pot and try to chop it all up. What I'm doing is put it in the Ninja food processor all together. So everything blends at that moment. Then I put it into the pot. So I save a couple steps.
That's definitely not traditional.
No, it's not. But I save a couple steps.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's quicker, I'm going to look at it. So the other thing is sometimes if you don't have those leaves, you can use regular spinach.
Okay. Okay.
So do they
That's
taste
good to
similar?
know.
There's some you can do some variations of it depending
Okay.
on what you have access to.
But you can't use like iceberg lettuce.
No.
I don't think so.
That's not useful for nothing but like tacos.
Or maybe some kale.
No.
No. Won't be the same.
Mm-hmm. There we go. It likes to stick.
So one of my favorite fishes that I started eating when I went to the Bahamas was red snapper, and from there I haven't stopped eating it since. It is so
Yes,
good, and they
snapper
cook
is
it
really
differently, and it's just
See, I grew up eating red snapper.
Really?
In San Francisco, we ate a lot of red snapper and a lot of filet of sole. And I never had whiting. I didn't even know what whiting was. I never had
Really?
whiting or perch or anything like that until I moved to the East Coast. But in San Francisco,
What did you have? What did you have in San Francisco?
red snapper and sole and maybe some catfish here and there. But I never even heard of like whiting or perch or anything like that until I moved here.
The first time I had
Oh, I love
red
whiting.
snapper was
Love
someone
whiting.
made some nuggets and they put it over a salad. I was hooked. Yeah, it was
Snapper's
filleted,
good.
the red snapper, and it was like in little nuggets, and they fried it. And
Bone skeleton will come out.
Well, I ain't got that.
I don't want my fish with the head on it. I don't want to see the head on the fish.
Yeah,
I know that is correct. That's how they do.
I understand.
But I don't want it.
I don't want
to
my
see
food
it.
looking at me
Hey,
either. I
I'm trying to tell you.
I don't eat the head, but I will eat the
Ooh,
whole
yeah.
fish.
Separately.
I'll eat around it and try to get all the meat that I can, and then
Right.
I
So
don't
with
want my food
snapper,
looking
you
at
can
me.
do a lot of varieties, Caribbean wise.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do escovitch,
that's my favorite.
you can do brown stew, right? A lot of
Brown
people
stew
do
is good.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, I like stew snapper, that's my
I
favorite.
gotta try the stew snapper. I never had the stew. I always do escovitch.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I need to try it because I have to
tried
go back
again
to
and
my
make some
southern roots. I like my fish. That's why I don't eat a lot of seafood because I only
snapper
want it
was
fried.
Right.
I was
want
with
the
Angela,
fried
there's so much
fish.
stuff on
We had
the menu.
fried
Right.
snapper.
Yeah, it was a lot already.
Right.
So she would, use the pigtail to flavor the callaloo.
Yeah. I actually have some of that. I'm gonna put in.
Okay.
Well, not pigtail, but some cured pork.
Okay.
See, that's how we cook our greens in the South.
Right.
You gotta have some fat back, some pigtail, something.
At first, when I read a recipe for this, it said cured beef. And then when I kept reading through multiple texts for the recipe, then it said cured pork. I was like, okay, all right. So just a little bit, that's all you need.
So have you made this? Oh, clearly you made it before because you knew the shortcut to do it.
Yeah, I made it before. So you put in basically a can of coconut milk, and then you put in 2 cups of water as well. So I'm putting in coconut milk now, and I put in the cured pork, and I'm going to add in the water soon. As you see, this was light green, and then once I added in the callaloo leaves or dashing, now it's a dark green. See? So this is how it actually looks when you get done with it.
My grandmother is right now turning in her grave.
Yeah, she is.
Callaloo and what? I'm gonna have to try that maybe sometime.
But you know, I just saved you some time
A
though.
whole lot of time. Well, see, half of the joy of making callaloo in the old days was using a swizzle stick. So it's a stick that has little grooves, or sometimes it was a metal basket at the bottom, and you would turn it in order to blend up all the ingredients.
Like right here.
So now you have Ninja.
But now
Right.
we got a more efficient way to make it.
Right,
Yeah.
now you have Ninja.
You gotta
Grandma might have
make it
enjoyed a
fun.
good ninja. You
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. You know, part of what I do in my spare time is take a recipe that's old and try to figure out how can I cut time off that recipe while still keeping the core values of that recipe. You know, don't really change the concept of the recipe. Just well, if this takes an hour, why does it take an hour? What can I do to make this 30 minutes or less?
Well, that's a good idea. We're so busy otherwise.
And I can understand for the purpose of the show, you know, because you don't have a certain amount of time. But sometimes me being a cook myself, I actually like taking that time and, you know, all the steps. You know, it's to me that's my processing time, that's my peaceful time. I have friends that don't really cook much, so I have a couple of them, like if it's more than 3 steps, they're not doing it. I was like, okay, so you know, but the steps sometimes actually what makes it is like you just really cook that. Saying you cooking with love, you cooking with love. You put all that extra time
And it's
and
relaxing,
effort.
yeah.
It's very relaxing. Absolutely.
So can you not speed up the process and still cook with love and efficiently?
Absolutely, you can. But for me, like you said, it's relaxing and it's soothing. So sometimes taking those extra steps, putting that extra time and effort into it is something that I like to do. Now, don't get me wrong, I do cut off some steps sometimes depending on what it is that I have to do. But for the most part, I will take that time. Like for a long time, I didn't use a crock pot because I felt a crock pot was for lazy cooks. I like to cook to cook. I would like to cook my. I would like to cook my. No, but see, really, you're not doing the work. The crock pot is doing the work. So for me, I put my stuff on the stove. If you're cooking on the stove, you gotta watch it. You gotta make sure you gotta stir. You gotta do all those things. Crock pot, you don't have to do that. You just put it in, set it, and forget it. So for a long time, and I still don't use a crock pot much. There's certain things I will put in a crock pot just for the sake of time, because now our lives are more busy and we're doing more things. So when you get home from work, you want your food prepared or whatever. So I will use it, but I don't use it often.
Well, now they don't upgraded us to the Instapot. So
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Hey, I got one too. I got one.
Like me, I'm like, whoo, yeah. I don't enjoy cooking. It's okay, but when it's just like the aftermath of the cleanup and all that stuff, it's too much.
It is definitely too much. It is definitely a lot, you know.
It takes a while. I'm gonna.
Flavors.
I've never met too many people who don't eat crab. They don't eat. Only people that I know that don't eat crab is because they're allergic to it.
Yeah.
Right.
I've heard that
That's
as
nice.
well. I don't like it.
Never.
I don't like it because it has a strong fishy taste to me. And if it has that, yeah, it has a. So I guess that's why I like that's why I like white fish because it is not really strong. It's a light fish taste, and I guess that's why I like it. So I only eat fish, certain fish, and shrimp. That's it.
All right. So
Yeah, I'm a little picky.
there's also peppers in this too.
Yeah, salads.
It smells good.
So I'll give you the breakdown of all the ingredients that I put in. Okay. So you have the dashing leaves, which is the callaloo, right? I even put in the spinach because you can substitute spinach. So I put both of those in there. Okay. I didn't put a lot, just put a little bit. I put in a Scotch bonnet pepper, and I put in a couple jalapeno peppers just to balance it out. Okay, it's not going to be hot because you like that's hot. No, because remember it's got coconut milk in it. Coconut milk will taper down a lot of the peppers. Okay, so you got that. So I put in fresh thyme. Okay, so you have the fresh thyme in there. You have shallow benny. Shallow benny goes by another name. It's called culantro. Okay, so shallow benny is in there. In Trinidad they call it shallow benny. I also put in cilantro as well. Okay, no parsley, but put in some cilantro.
See, that's what I'm not a fan of. Cilantro.
And I put in about 4 cloves of garlic. So with the 4 cloves of garlic in there, it made a mincemeat. So here is the soup. Now the okra is in here as well. So the okra is what's binding everything in like that. So I'm trying to stir and get it untangled basically. And now I'm going to add in the crab. So what the crab is going to do is going to give it that flavor that's missing, that doesn't already have.
I'm not sold yet.
You're not sold?
It's a little slimy.
If you don't like okra, you can put more spinach in.
That would probably be.
So it decreases the sliminess of it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that would probably be what
It's a little interesting.
But you were talking about doing things slowly. So the whole time I ever watched my grandmother do this, grate the coconut. Break the coconut and grate the coconut.
Right.
So all my knuckles are all messed up from grating.
She take every step.
On the box grater.
Every step to heart.
So when I need some coconut grating, I'm gonna call you.
I got you. I got you covered.
And you know
So
why.
why putting in whole crab legs and not just crab meat?
It's not the same. You want the flavor. So the flavor is going to come from the crab in the shell. That shell has flavor in it. Okay.
So when we do like curry crab, so here in Maryland, you guys do steamed crab, right, with seasoning on it. When we do curry crab, we take the back off when we're cleaning the crab and actually season the crabs and put curry powder as well as curry processing in the pot.
So
That's
do
a whole
you
topic
kill
for another
them?
day.
Like, do you kill them, or they are
Yeah, they're dead. Put them in the sink and hit them with some hot water.
What kind of crabs is it?
You can do blue crabs.
Oh,
You have to kill them first before you take the backs off.
right. So I always thought that you couldn't, like, you're not supposed to cook dead crabs. Like, I always cook crabs alive, snow.
Why can't you?
I don't know. 'Cause you wouldn't go to the market and be like, yeah, give me the dead ones.
Right. For the purposes. I mean,
When I pick up my crabs, I don't want the dead ones.
right,
I
but you
always
buying
told
them live and then you're killing them yourself at home.
Yeah.
Again, I don't have time to fight with a crab to put him in the pot.
Me either,
Even
no.
if I ate him, I probably would not want live crab because I don't have time to fight with a crab.
I want the meat already
I've
done.
seen stories, I've seen videos of people fighting with crabs and get them in the pot. Yeah, that's too much work.
Nah, I'm not doing
I
that.
like the work of cooking, but that I don't want to.
Yeah, I want my food dead. It's just too much work.
That is funny.
Okay. Well, I saw a video yesterday. Someone was cooking. This was on actually TikTok. Somebody posted on TikTok.
I gotta step out real quick. My daughter just.
The video on TikTok that I saw was a crab that was actually in a pot for a stew. The pot was the crab was eating the corn.
In the stew?
Wow. And I was like, there's no way in the world that is actually boiling. I restarted the video so I can see it because I caught it when it was actually playing on the site. No. The pot was boiling, and the crab was in the boiling water, and there was a piece of corn next to the crab, and the crab was taking the corn and eating it.
Oh my goodness,
Oh, that's
funny.
funny.
That is very funny.
I was like, well, he getting his last meal then.
Absolutely.
And you had time to
That's the
film
last supper for
Right.
sure.
Exactly.
Again, like, how did you know that was gonna happen
Right.
for you to film it? That is.
That's pretty cool.
So it was funny because this morning I was listening. They were talking about the weather in Florida, and because it freezes the iguanas.
Yeah, they're not
So-
dead. They're just like stuck in place.
Right.
Mm.
They're like in what do you call
Suspended
it?
animation.
Yeah, suspended animation.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
interesting.
Very.
But that's the best time, I think.
You good?
That's the best time to actually get an iguana because it's not raining.
Yeah, exactly. You
Curry
cook. You gonna.
Curry iguana.
I don't know if I want
Wow.
curry
So I want
iguana.
to hear about
Just to
okay,
know that it's because I know it's an iguana. I don't think I want it.
Yeah, I don't want it. With the curry crab. So tell me how you cook that again, because I'm.
So you get your live crabs, put them in your sink, kill them off with your hot water, and then
They
you
die
season
from
it.
hot water?
Yeah, they die.
Oh, okay. I already feel terrible when I throw them in the pot and they be like,
Why you say you feel terrible? Why you say I feel terrible?
It'd be worse. That's
can't do
even
it.
a worse step. Slowly.
Then you take off all your bags and then you season it. So I usually put like lemon to clean it, wash it off, and then I do seasoning. So one of the things that Ramesh was talking about is shadow benning. So in Trinidad we make what's called liquid seasoning. So to me that expedites a lot of my cooking process.
The green seasoning.
Green seasoning. So it has like the shadow benny, it has garlic, it has green pepper, and you blend that up in your ninja. And some people put vinegar, some people put a little rum. You can keep it in your refrigerator.
Okay.
So when you get ready to season your meat, you put that on your meat.
Okay. Green seasoning.
Yeah. So
Yes.
when
So you
I
take
do
the
that
back
crab,
off.
you could use that. You take the backs off.
You clean all the little nasty stuff out
Right.
and
You take
everything.
all that, whatever they call it, the mustard and all that
Yeah.
stuff out.
That's smart.
And then you just season it, right? And it's delicious. And with that, we usually have dumplings. So it's usually curry crab and dumplings.
So is it the traditional, like the curry chicken, that curry that you put in the
Yeah,
pot?
yeah.
Wow, I want to have to try this.
When
I
I
got
feel
you. I might
energetic,
text you.
I'll make that.
I know, like, hey,
I might
can you
do
tell me how to make this again?
It's a
Wow.
process.
It is. Watch your glass.
Like I said, I want to try that. Now that, because I like crabs so much, I would take the time to do that.
And it's so different. Like, your perspective on crabs is going to change.
So you
I
like
can share
saute it in the pan like this, or you
You're
put
cooking
in
it in
the
a
oven?
big pot like you're doing a curry.
Oh, okay.
Our traditional pot is like a steel pot.
Yes,
So you're cooking all of those things in a steel pot.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
I really love.
I get
crabs.
excited about food, period. You know, I just love to eat. That's why hey, take it there.
So we're gonna knock out all the curries next. So the chicken curry. We're gonna knock out the jerk chicken as well.
Ooh, maybe avocado oil. I bet you that's really good and healthy.
I've never seen that before.
I
Yeah,
use a lot of avocado oil.
Now, I don't really cook with the avocado oil much.
very
But, yeah, but I cook
Now
with
here's
the grape seed.
Now here comes.
Curry.
Yep, this is the curry. Get all the gravy.
Yes, got to.
Everybody's like,
That's right.
I'm thinking about this curry. It stains if you get it.
Yes, it stains everything.
It does.
That's why I said on this side.
So, can't have curry unless you got some potatoes.
All right.
So what does the potatoes do? You can see.
It does
It's your
what?
gravy. Makes it thicker.
Oh. Okay.
See, I didn't know that. I just learned something
I
new.
just put it in there because it tastes
Listen,
good.
you know, being from the South, we make our gravy. We thinking our own gravy. So I didn't know. Yeah, you know.
Okay, cool.
You know, so I'm learning some things.
That's
You know,
different thickener.
I see that. Yeah. Okay. That's what's up.
Like he was saying that curry in his jar is Chiefs, right? So Chiefs makes another one called duck and goat. So it's also curry, yellow curry, but it's a little spicier.
Okay.
So if some people don't really like it, you know, people don't tolerate heat well, they don't really like it. But I love duck and goat.
Getting a little too much spice.
I actually have some duck in the freezer, actually. So I can make some duck.
Curry
You
duck
have
is everything.
A whole farm in the freezer.
Like what? What does
You
he
have
have in the freezer?
Everything. What? You got chicken in the freezer?
You know I got chicken wings.
You got beef?
Yeah.
You got pork?
Mhm.
You got duck?
Yeah.
You got
I got some
lamb?
rabbit.
I have lamb, yes.
See?
See? Yeah.
You have rabbit in there?
No.
No.
Oh, got him.
See? I told you. One thing, when you come to Nick's house, you will not starve.
At all.
This is where you
You will
want to
not
come
starve.
when you don't have any power. And you want food and you want to be taken care of. 'Cause I got a generator out back in power
Oh,
in town.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I keep that
Okay.
in mind.
Thank
I'll
you for
keep
that.
in mind.
Thank you for that
With
tidbit
the
of
windows
Always
on.
information.
eat well at Nick's
Thank you
house.
for that.
Always.
I'll be texting. Here I come. I'm on the way.
Your biggest issue is, can I make it? Can I make it here?
Getting there.
That is your biggest issue. Can I make it here?
No, I'm good. I need to save
I'm
space for
saving
all the
space.
other stuff
Just
because
making
if I
sure.
keep munching
I'm like,
and
that's it,
nibbling,
because
I
my
won't
mouth
eat.
is hot.
Alright, so,
That's the pork.
yes, that's the jerk pork is right there. And right here we have the curry chicken, we got the callaloo, which I'm letting the callaloo settle down, so I don't want them to burn the mouth.
That's the pork?
Huh?
What's that?
Jerk pork.
This is jerk pork.
That's one of my favorite things.
So I just put
I
in,
miss pork sometimes. I really do.
I had it about a month and a half ago from a restaurant in Waldorf for the first time.
Was it good?
It was good. Yeah, there's a
I
great.
can imagine it is, like.
Yeah, it was really
that's
good.
many-
so
Do you grow any of your herbs?
I don't, but my youngest brother, he does. He's in North Carolina. And he's actually giving me some herbs and stuff. And my dad has scorpion peppers in the backyard. And no lie, my brother and my dad, no, my middle brother and my dad, they were trying to cut up the scorpion peppers. Well, one of them made a mistake. He touched the peppers without putting gloves
Touch your
on.
face.
And he touched his eye by
Did
accident.
he burn his eye?
Oh.
Oh, he needed some water in his eye.
Yeah. It's very hot.
Oh, wow.
Very hot.
The oil from the pepper is just hot. You have to put gloves on when you cut that pepper.
Wow.
That don't mean one glove, two gloves.
I grow a lot of my own herbs. And I grow some that's specific to Trinidad. Like we have one called black leaf thyme. And most Trinidadians have that in their house. Because it looks like a plant. So it's in the window. Yeah, because you can grow it in a pot.
And you put it in.
So whatever you would use dry thyme, which is the spiny one,
Mhm.
you can use some of the flat leaf.
Okay.
So I do a lot of slow cooking. So this is interesting to me because I'm learning some shortcuts.
Right.
So I'm fishing in my window, like I have window boxes, and I'm cutting my herbs, and I have rosemary, and I have thyme, and I have the flat leaf is in another window. So I get my exercise while I'm cooking.
And as you see, I got a bay leaf in there. I
Yes.
actually have a couple bay leaves.
Yep, gotta have faith.
So all of my bay leaves came from Trinidad.
That's the best place to get them.
I know. That means I need to get on the airplane.
How often are you able to go back?
So I actually have a cousin going in a few weeks. So that's when I'll be
Can you bring you back some things? Awesome. I've never been to Trinidad.
Trinidad is a wonderful place.
Yeah, I've never gone. I want to go too.
It's a wonderful place.
One of my sorors,
The flight's there.
she's Trinidadian.
well, for carnival.
Yeah,
Is
oh,
it-
that's
Right.
what I'm talking
I
about.
heard that's the
That's
time
not
to
bad.
go.
Yeah,
I was
absolutely.
like, the flights are too.
I don't know if I'm ready for. I want to go, but I don't know if I'm ready for carnival because when they was talking about it from sunup,
It is.
yes,
some-
I'm gonna need a
Okay,
nap.
so Carnival,
Yes, me too.
Carnival is commercialized now in Trinidad. So most of the Trinities that are in Trinidad, they just go to the beach. While y'all experience Carnival. That's really what happens.
But that's the fun part. And then, you know, as you get older, you're like, when am I gonna stop this
Right.
Sounds
partying?
amazing.
Yeah, cause I
Keep myself on board.
I can't hang and stay up all night. That's why I was like, I want
have
to go
take a
to
midday
experience,
nap.
but I'm like, okay, I'm a
There's
nap.
no
I'm gonna need
midday
to
nap.
sleep, but yeah,
You
they
might-
don't sleep.
You might get one a little bit in the afternoon, maybe an hour. or
Double
two.
up on the vitamins then.
Oh Jesus!
Man.
I be so y'all be looking for me. I be somewhere in a corner asleep.
All right,
Like I can't hang.
your jerk pork is right here.
That's so delicious.
So we're just gonna toss this around. Make sure all the veggies we put in here is gonna get some of that goodness from the jerk pork.
My son had pork a lot of times in the oven. Slow cooking.
Right.
All right, so this
You
is.
do any baking?
I do. What do you want me to bake?
You do bread? Sometimes.
Do you do pone?
No, but I need to try it.
What about rum cake?
Now,
That's what we missing on the menu.
Okay.
I know, it's a rum cake.
So New Year's Eve night, Tony brought me some rum cake, and I'm going to tell you, it was so good.
I bake those cakes because it's a tradition. That's my way that I honor my grandmother.
Yeah, I will be saving your number. So I was like, oh, my Tony, can I get a rum cake?
And we also use this cake,
Yes.
black cake for weddings.
Girl, you be so
Black
flat
cake?
sometimes.
Yeah.
You ain't got no
It's
room.
called a black cake. It's not called a rum cake. So
okay.
you have your traditional American cake, you know, whatever you've chosen, and then you usually have a black cake on the side. So in the old days, you would get the black cake, cut it up, and put it in little boxes, like as a savor when you left.
See, it smells different now, right?
So I'm making one for my daughter's wedding. So I might have some batter left over. I'll let you know. Because the batter takes a whole year to set up.
Really?
So I set my
If you
batter
do it,
now
if you
in
do it a certain
January.
way, it takes
That
a
is
year.
so interesting.
Okay, so there's one way to make it. You
So
can.
that cake must be expensive.
It's expensive and it's labor intensive.
So the way Tony's talking about doing it, you would do a starter, and you would put the rum in it, okay? And every single day you would add more rum to it,
Jesus.
okay?
Be
Yeah,
drunk off a
remember to do
cake.
that.
For a year.
So okay, well here's the thing. Once you make the cake, right? You take some of that and put it to the side, because you don't always cook the entire thing. You put some to the side, and that still remains your starter for all the additional cakes you're gonna make in the future.
See, I don't do mine like that. Because I sell mine,
Ah.
so like when I'm sold out, I'm sold out. Then I have to start from square one. So when I start back at square one, it's usually set up by now, like actually sitting on my kitchen counter. So all of the fruits that you put in and my jars that I do it in, is sit on the counter. So I set it all up this week, and I keep them. You just store them wherever you want in the house. And I don't add rum to mine. I add all the rum that I'm going to use, and then I just shake it. So it gets a little stir love. Taste it.
You don't have to put crab in mine. Just give me a little bit of the
What
cake.
is this?
You don't want no crab? That's one of the good parts.
Oh, it's, I told
Just
you.
taste it. I just want a little. I literally like a little bit, and if
I'll
it's
have
to
it
my
in there for
liking,
the
I'm gonna
flavor.
say,
I'm gonna
okay,
cool
yeah,
down
give me
a
some
little
more.
bit.
Thank you. It looks delicious. It really does. I'm just trying to
All right, so
do.
I want that.
He was like, oh no. Oh
A little
no.
gravy in there. That's
Oh my bad. About to die. All these iPhones in here, better bring the charger. Like mine gonna be dead.
No, I
All right.
have one at a
I
time.
need to, too.
Let me put
So-
a low battery.
here we have the jerk pork. Everyone wants to take a look. Here's how it looks.
We'll take it.
Let's try it with the sauce.
Some of the curry sauce in here.
Look, she getting her some flavors, right?
I always do that. I was making my own mixture. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Okay.
Just try some new things.
That's
Yeah.
Some new things. Try some new things.
You might want to turn off your phone. You want
Oh,
red?
I know, right?
I actually like that one.
All right, so who wants to try this?
What's that? Curry?
Mhm.
I'm trying
Love curry.
everything.
Yes. Let that cool down.
Of course.
No,
Because
yeah,
if it
no,
don't take the,
girl.
if
But it's there. You get that buzz.
You better take some Mango 7 and call it there.
if I
That'll pull it
can,
right out of you.
like I'll do anything that's healthy, as long as it still has some flavor and it tastes like something. But if it doesn't have any flavor, then I'm not gonna do it. I can't even
Cooking
force
keto.
myself
Right.
to do it.
Because
Exactly.
cooking keto is very flavorful, but just not the alcohol. And you can still drink. You can do your tequila shots or whatever drink that you like to drink.
I try keto. I can't get rid of the sugar
It's hard.
because I drink coffee and I put sugar,
Like that?
the flavored creamers, and then on
I
top
love
of it I put agave in. Yeah, I
Oh my
can't.
goodness.
Yeah, I
You
can't.
can use the
It's super sweet.
what's that sugar can I use with
You
keto?
never know.
See, I tried the different ones and it still leave an aftertaste, and I just be like, I can't, because I tried the keto before. See, I like the way they cook because it's a whole bunch of butter, it's fat, it's a whole bunch of cream, and I love me some heavy cream cheese. So
Me
a
too.
lot of their meals
Too
are like
much.
that, and then they do a lot of bacon, but because of the fat. But I don't eat, I don't eat pork, so that was difficult. But I tried it. I said, if I can give up the sugar, I might be okay.
Alright, so.
Yam.
Oh, the curry shrimp.
Yes, yes, yes.
You gotta let the
Can't
butter
have none of
sizzle.
that.
I know. But it will.
Okay.
Y'all enjoy it for me?
You don't eat shrimp?
Allergic?
I'm allergic.
Aww.
I feel
This
so
skillet,
sorry for people with allergies. So sorry.
this skillet is only for the shrimp. And that skillet.
While they eat their curry, which I just laugh at that. Takes half of the pleasure out.
Right.
What are you drinking?
I had some champagne left over, so I mixed it with.
Oh, okay.
I think this one is I think this is
I didn't like that one.
which one? It was okay. Because I wouldn't say that.
I think it tastes. That would taste good, better cold. That one. This one you could bring in temperature.
That's the pork, right?
Mhm.
That must be my to-go plate.
Did she say to go play?
Girl, we gonna fight over that.
Oh God.
Whatever it's called, it's enough.
Thank you.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's enough for me too.
Yeah, mine's on the side.
Here you go. Whoa.
That's all good. They're gone.
That is good.
Alright, so last but not least, we're doing the rasta pasta.
Yeah.
What is in that?
It's
You
a,
don't like it?
so the history behind rasta pasta
It's very fattening.
is it's actually an Italian dish. It's an Italian dish that was elevated by the Caribbean. Okay, because it's using the penne pasta.
I love penne.
Yes.
So here's the penne, and because we call it rasta pasta, right? Rasta. You want something colorful.
Right.
Bell peppers, all different types of colors of bell peppers, right? Here's the penne pasta. Now, I boiled the penne ahead of time before the show. What I do is I put olive oil on it and mix it up so that it doesn't stick. So
Right.
it's just a little cooking hack. So one of the things we're gonna do is, this is a layered up dish, okay? Layered up means you cook one piece, then you add another layer to it. Cook that piece, and you add another layer to it. Okay, and then eventually you add in the penne pasta. Then you add in the broth from the oxtail seasoning.
I never did that part.
In this dish, I have the diced tomatoes. I have the white onions in it. I also have in the diced or minced garlic. I also put in some jalapeno. You have in a little bit of cilantro in it as well.
Okay.
You couldn't get full.
Okay. Yeah, this is just a sample.
Right.
So I don't eat chicken when y'all looks good.
So that's gonna be your rasta pasta. All right. So next one that goes in is gonna be the penne,
Okay.
and we're gonna let that simmer for a little while.
So how many calories are in this?
A million.
Curious.
I don't even want to know.
In a rasta pasta, there's just chicken in there.
Yeah, just chicken in there right now.
Okay.
So you have your veggies in there already, along with the seasoning I put in. And the rasta pasta, the chicken, was already seasoned with oxtail seasoning and a little bit of green seasoning as well. So in the Caribbean foods, you see green seasoning or another type of seasoning, like green seasoning, in almost all the foods. It's only like certain things that it gives it a certain dynamic. It's different. Like with this one, we're adding in the broth from the oxtails. That's completely different. And you add that in with the heavy whipping cream. And then you just toss it over so that it all blends together. And it changes the flavor completely.
Like that's the brick oven for the pizza.
Gotta have the brick oven.
Yeah, it's really
I
nice.
love brick oven.
And the scenery was gorgeous. And it was just, I just go right back to her again.
Alright, so there's the penne pasta.
Smell it.
Everything smells so good.
So here's what we start doing. We start
Mixing it in.
mixing it in. Jameez, tell me what part you missed when you were doing it at home.
It was just, I'm not for sure what exactly, it was just in my mind something was missing. Because it didn't taste like the first time I made it. That's probably what the problem was.
Alright, so now the penne has all the juices and stuff on it now?
Don't drop them.
And then extra? And then I didn't use tomatoes, and I never seen the tomatoes on lots of pasta.
I did it because I wanted to add another flavor to it.
Okay.
That's the only why I did it. And then, alright. We're gonna mix this together. And this was gonna go over the top of it the first time. And then the second time will be just a straight ladle of the broth over the top of it.
So can you make the rasta pasta without making oxtail?
If you do that, make sure you use oxtail seasoning
Okay.
when you're doing it.
Okay.
I use jerk seasoning.
That's what I use when I made mine.
So that's fine, right?
And this tastes like hot bananas in there. I just can't.
Yeah. And that's the thing of it is I like bananas and I don't like it in, certain things. I don't like it, but I like it has a different, for some reason it has a little different taste.
And my daughter ate them in the Bahamas and was in love.
Right.
Just lean out. I tried it.
So my daughter's a speech therapist. And I said, when I get older, if I have to be pureed, plants and puree. Figure it out. They don't give it in the facilities right now, but that's what I need.
I know that's
All right.
right.
So
Well,
there
that's
we go.
beautiful.
And this is your rasta
Yeah.
pasta.
Nice
pretty.
look. It is. Since you got a close up, you could just airdrop it.
Yeah.
Just drop it. Yeah, we need some photos.
Put it in our
There you go.
No shrimp for you.
Nope.
No shrimp for
Good.
me.
Oh.
Nice and jerky. But not too spicy. I like jerk that's not too spicy. I've gotten jerk that was just extremely spicy.
Okay, so this is your rasta pasta.
But I have been meaning to make some my own jerk seasoning.
Oh, you all didn't try the oxtails yet. You ready for the oxtails?
Yes.
I know. It's
I'm going down.
I tell you, all these little
I'm going
samplings, man. You're not gonna have room for the food.
I had a foil ready.
I'm here for it. Trust and believe, I am here for it. Hasn't been bad though. Some days it'll get me. Come on, 2 o'clock. I'm hungry. But then
Yeah, that's
some
pretty
days So
Yeah.
and then some days I'm like, okay, but I get so busy and I'm focusing on things that I'm working on too.
Yeah.
Like the first few days of it, I didn't eat until like 2:30, 3 o'clock because I was so busy and didn't even think about it. And I looked up and I was like, dang. So I was like, it's easy. But then if I'm not as busy, then I feel like the grumble.
You realize.
Then I'm like, I haven't eaten. I'm hungry.
See, I try to do earlier, so I do like a 10:30 to like a 5:30.
Right.
So that way I know everything's digested before I went to sleep.
Right, that's true. But the good thing is, I was telling him this is going to
When I
be
do
the heaviest I've eaten since I started. Because usually when I do eat, I guess because I'm so hungry, I have been so hungry, I've been so long, I can't eat a lot. And I've been eating light, even when I go into the office. So I've been eating light. So I'm hoping to lose a couple pounds.
It's hot.
Sad. So much
Very
left?
hot. Very hot.
Yes.
Mine has the Bailey one. I definitely tasted tomatoes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Really?
I mean, into a stew.
I would say it tastes like a stew to me.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
It's hot.
It is very hot.
Spicy.
Really? It has a little spice, but not
Little
as
bit.
much. Yeah,
Not
There's
bad.
a good kick to it.
No kick to it. Good.
I wouldn't have to put pepper sauce on.
no, you shouldn't have to put no pepper sauce on this.
No.
Because if I got my seasonings and my measurements correct, it should have been oxtail seasoning. Would give it enough kick. You don't need nothing else for it.
This right here gonna take me out.
You'll be full.
My plate is just gonna be just all nice and pretty. It's gonna be nice to look at.
Really? Really?
That's hot. I was trying to pick up my oxtail. You know, y'all was talking about slurping on the on your crab.
You'll pick it up later.
You talk about
Just
me
to
and some
clarify,
oxtail.
ladies and gentlemen, when they say
Yeah,
hot, they don't mean food hot. They mean temperature hot.
Yes.
You got no kick to it.
I know, right? We all be spread out somewhere.
Right.
You be like, where did they go?
On the sofa.
I'm gonna be up tonight trying to do these
Somebody on the
cards.
floor, somebody on the
Okay,
fall
so
asleep.
the sofa has been nicknamed the coma couch. I have 3 of them. 3 coma couches.
This is really
The
good.
oxtails and meat was tender. It's not right.
That's how it's
This jerk pork though, I'm gonna tell you something.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's good.
What do you think, Zoe? Does it meet your
There's a little bit too much thyme.
a little too much time? Okay. But other than that?
Other than that, it's good. They have too much food now.
Full
Not
already.
bad. So this is one of the saltier pieces of meat that I tasted.
The pork.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have one that's empty, so
I
some
thought
of that
the
now?
jerk shrimp was kind of salty.
Rasta pasta.
You said
Yeah,
that was
the jerk was saltier than the curry.
Right.
Curry was good.
Yeah.
The curry wasn't salty.
Curry was good.
You can mix it in there. It's totally fine. And actually, that jerk pork was hot. I felt it was hot.
Yeah. If I felt like the jerk, you put in the back of your throat.
Yeah. That is a little hot.
I might need some water.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I'll
sounds like a good
give
plan.
you some water.
Yep, some water.
Woo, my mouth is fire.
It definitely sounds like,
That's right. What y'all know about the Ohio players?
What you talking about, girl?
It's called a knife.
Yeah, it's a big chicken.
Exactly.
It's a little chicken right there, right?
Where? Oh, right.
There.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
She got that eagle eye.
Chicken.
There we go.
Thank you. Just
Look, when I
I
start
missed
sitting,
a whole
look, when I
football
start
game.
sitting back with my hands on my hip, that
What time
means
is it?
I'm.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're back at the end of our show. So now we're going to ask our beautiful audience how they actually felt about all of our dishes. Tony?
I really enjoyed myself and I am stuffed. Let me just put that out first. I really like the curry shrimp. I like the jerk wings. I like the curry chicken. And the roasted pasta was delicious. Now, as for my callaloo, I love callaloo, but I still have to go back to my traditional slow. I don't know if I could go with the blender effect. So, but it tasted good. It was fast, but I like my slow.
But I did say it was gonna be fast, right?
I know.
Okay.
It's just too ingrained in my traditional mind.
Did you think it affected the taste?
Yes, it tastes different.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I did it fast, rather as opposed to the slow.
Mm-hmm.
Slow, it marinates more. All the flavors blend in. What I did was I put everything in the food processor, including all the seasonings,
Right.
so that it would take faster.
And mix in together.
Right.
Now maybe tomorrow,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
when it settles and the seasonings go through it, it'll taste.
It is
Right.
nice.
It'll probably be like it'll have like the chili effect. You know how you make chili?
Yeah.
Chili's always better the next day.
It's
It's
Exactly.
spaghetti.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it's probably like the chili effect.
Right.
It'll once it has a chance to settle with all the seasonings, everything else in it, then that's the time to eat
Okay.
But my belly's happy.
it. Janine?
All right. Yeah, I would have to concur with Tony. I'm stuffed. I eat in small portions anyway, so that was definitely for me. I'm not a big fan of the Callaloo because of the okra. I could taste more of the okra, but I love the rasta pasta, the jerk wings, divine, and I'm a big fan of oxtails, so I can sit here and eat myself to death on the oxtails. The curry chicken was delicious. I love it all. I love Caribbean foods anyway, but yeah, I think the only thing that I wasn't a big fan of was the Callaloo. So everything else, thumbs up.
But before we started, I did say, disclaimer, Callaloo is an acquired taste.
Absolutely.
Usually people in the Caribbean are used to Callaloo.
Right.
Tony has it on a regular basis, so
Right.
she knows what she's looking for. Because of the purpose of the show, we don't have the benefit of doing Callaloo for 2 hours.
Right.
Right.
I got to get like this.
Right.
So the
Yeah.
quickest way for me to do the Callaloo, to get it to where it might be acceptable for someone from the Caribbean, is to do it the way I do it.
Right.
Is to blend everything together.
Mhm.
What do you think, Jamise?
So I'm with everybody else. I wasn't a fan of the Callaloo, that's how you said?
Yeah.
Because of the okra. I don't eat okra. So that would be a no for me. I probably wouldn't taste it anywhere else either if they put okra in there. Because you know how you can just taste something that's that one distinct thing that you don't like?
Right.
And that's okra. Everything else is pretty good. The jerk pork was the most seasoned thing. It was spicy, like it was just spicy, and it was a little salty too. But everything else was really good. I enjoyed your version of the rasta pasta. It was actually good, and tomorrow I think it's gonna even taste even better.
Right.
Once the seasoning set in on that, because it's kind of like any pasta dish. That's gonna be really, 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 really good.
Right.
The jerk chicken was good too, but everything else was pretty good.
Trace.
Oh, sorry. I forgot about the oxtails. So the oxtails, it was almost made like a stew base. So because of that, it tasted really good. It's not the usual way that I like my oxtails with the southern type gravy thing. But this version of it was good based on how you made it as a stew. So stew, it tasted good. And the meat came off the bones.
Yeah.
That oxtail has been in the pot since 8:30 this morning.
You can't rush oxtails.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was one of the things.
Pressure cooker.
Yeah. I've heard that.
Pressure cooker.
One of my Jamaican coworkers, that's how she makes hers. She does them in a pressure cooker. But
Mine
I would
in a
always,
pressure cooker.
I'd always slow cook mine.
Right.
If you slow cook it, it's always 5.5 hours. When you
Right.
slow cook it.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Because depending on how big or how thick it is and whatnot, or how big that bone is inside.
Right, right.
But for a little bit of meat for a big bone, it's going to take maybe 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But
So I enjoyed this Caribbean feast today. I would say my favorite things were the jerk wings, because I couldn't stop eating. I couldn't eat the shrimp because I'm allergic, but it looks delicious. I really enjoyed the rasta pasta. I enjoyed the pork and the rice, the beans and rice, and the oxtail. The Callaloo, not my favorite. I know it's an acquired taste. But other than that, everything was great. I had a good time. I really enjoyed it.
okay. So note for the future. People who aren't Caribbean, don't serve them Callaloo.
Yep.
But as you see, I try to cook these dishes the Trinidadian way or the Caribbean way. You know, for most of the dishes. The rasta pasta is a Jamaican dish, so I try to stay true to the roots of how that dish was actually prepared and made. So it's a layered up dish. You cook one thing, and you layer up on something else, right? And you just keep layering up, you know. And that's supposed to be colorful too. The jerk pork is it straddles the fence between Jamaica and Trinidad, and for that particular dish, I was supposed to put some potatoes in it, and I forgot to put potatoes in it, so that would have taken away some of the other stuff you were tasting and feeling.
Yeah.
The potatoes would have took out everything else, and would have gone into the potatoes. So it would have been a nice even balance. So, and that was my fault. I put in everything else except the potatoes, so that's my fault. The curry chicken, my goal was to make that Trinidadian style, you know, and the way my father showed me how to make the curry chicken.
I did taste the difference between the Trinidadian style and the like if you go to a Jamaican restaurant, because theirs tastes a little bit different. So I did taste the difference between
Preparation is different.
Yeah.
And you saw how I made like basically a curry shake, basically, and let it boil. That's kind of what you're doing in Trinidad.
Okay.
I burn my curry.
You do, but in terms of so traditionally you have to burn the curry. But because this is a show, and the goal is to showcase certain things, sometimes all these dishes took a while to prepare. As you see, I was cooking 3 things at once, at one time, right?
You did awesome.
So in order to burn the curry, that takes 5 or 10 minutes. And to do the show, I didn't have 5 or 10 minutes extra to spare.
So how do you burn curry?
Yeah, that was my next
You
question.
put the curry, a little bit of butter, a little bit. Now, you see, I'll put it like a I put in maybe a cup or cube of butter. No, put some ghee, or a little bit of oil, or a little bit of butter. That much. You don't need it. You just need a little bit in there. Put the curry in it, and you let the curry burn.
Put garlic in mine.
Okay.
Put garlic. Some garlic cloves, crush it. So while that's burning, the garlic cloves are in there too. Flavor.
It's a process.
Sounds good. You know, I like slow cooking, so hey, I'm all for it.
I know the process. And
Right.
however, due to
Right.
certain time constraints, I didn't have time to go through that process.
Right.
But as you saw, what I did was to try to speed up the process was put the minced garlic in along with the butter and the other seasonings. You know, get that going because I know I didn't have the time to burn the curry.
Right.
So I thank you all. So I thank you all for coming. I hope you learned something from today's show.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We
Yes,
did. Thank you.
Everything was great. Thank you so much.
I feel like I've gained an extra 5 pounds sitting here, but hey, it's all good. I enjoyed every minute of it. These wonderful ladies and all this great conversation. So it was
And I'm
awesome.
gonna make rasta pasta now.
All right. And we have a shout out to our cameraman for today. Joel, thank you for coming today and being our cameraman today.
Yes,
Joel.
thank you.
And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Cooking and Conversation. And remember, don't take any wooden nickels. Have a great day.